Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Roxbury International Film Festival's daily script reads. I'm very excited about this one that we're going to have today. This one happens to be all male story, and it's an all male story that's very uplifting, and I love this one, and I think you'll love the actors also. With that, I will be the moderator, but you won't see me until it ends. And with that, we have our writer and actors.
Hello, my name is William Roebuck, and I'm the writer of Before I Go.
Hello, my name is Brandon Scales. I am the narrator and best man for Before I Go.
My name is Keith Mascoll. I'll be playing Anthony.
How's it going? My name is Ricardo Guillaume. I'll be playing Anthony Jr.
Interior, Anthony's bedroom. Day. A handsome, debonair black male is ransacking a room. Anthony Washington, 33, is half dressed in tuxedo pants and an unbuttoned tuxedo shirt. Anthony pulls out a dresser drawer and feverishly searches its contents. He slumps to the floor when he can't locate what he's been looking for. Anthony begins to have a panic attack as we see a shiny pair of Stacey Adams dress shoes walk into the room. These pristinely shined shoes belong to Anthony. Reginald, 59, is just as suave as his son. And as we pan up to see the rest of his outfit, it's obvious that someone is getting married today.
Boy, if your mom were here to see you in the knee of those pants.
He attempts to rise and greet his father, but fails. Reginald gingerly kneels and places his hand on the center of his son's chest.
Breathe deep. Now hold it. Now let it out.
Thanks, Dad. I'm good.
What's going on? I haven't heard you stutter since middle school.
I'm good, Dad.
What the hell is happening here?
Reginald bends down to pick up his son's bow tie, and we hear a crackling sound.
Was that your back?
Reginald doesn't answer. He braces his knee with both hands as he slowly rises.
Dad?
You ready to run through your vows?
Why do you always answer a question with a question?
The wedding starts in 35 minutes. There is no time for you to be worrying about me.
Anthony starts to press the issue, but his father gives him a stern look.
Oh, my life.
Breathe, son. You got this.
I can't.
You can.
Anthony retreats to a nearby chair and grabs a photo of him and his mother. He stares at it longingly as he tries to calm down.
Elise is so much like your mother. Beautiful, caring, strong. I know she's smiling down at you right now.
I lost my necklace.
Oh, son.
I thought I could just find it later, but I've been a mess ever since. I realized it was gone.
Pull yourself together. You're going to have to do without it.
I can't. I have to have her with me. The most vivid memory I have of Mom is feeling her frailty of her fingers as she fumbled to clasp the necklace on my neck. The warmth of her touch had gone. And at that moment, I knew she would too.
I remember she refused to allow me to help her.
Anthony is silent for a moment, but he can no longer hold his tongue.
You know, Mom would still be here if you had told her to go to the doctors.
We don't have time for this.
She ignored all her signs and symptoms until it was too late. All because you don't like doctors.
I never told her not to go to the doctors.
But you never told her to go. She would have jumped off the bridge if you told her to.
How long have you felt this way?
Anthony looks at his father with contempt, but doesn't answer. Reginald reaches out to hug Anthony, but Anthony pushes him away. Reginald can't believe his son put his hands on him. He ponders the disrespect moment. Anthony is prepared to block a punch or maybe throw one.
Do you regret not visiting her in the ICU until it was too late? Do you think she would have fought harder if you were by her side like I was? Because I don't remember you being there 24/7.
That's not fair. You know I had to work.
That's your best excuse. Does that help you sleep at night? I never lied to your mother, but every couple days I'd tell her that you stopped by to see her while she was asleep.
Of all days, why would you say this now? You know how hard it was for me to see it like that.
What about how hard it was for me? How hard it is still. Every moment of the day, I wonder what I could have done differently. Every day is a living nightmare for me. You have no idea.
Reginald back Anthony to hide his tears. Anthony places at his dad's shoulder.
Dad, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said what I said.
Reginald turns to his son and places on his.
There's still time. You get to the church, I'll find your necklace.
Towards his belief. Reginald gently picks his head up.
Have I ever let you down?
His eyes light.
Grab all your stuff, finish dressing at the church. I'll meet you there.
And start his things, and we hear a ring sound as he turns the door.
Dad?
Stop fussing and go.
Reginald limps out of the door. Interior Anthony's car. And he throws a duffel bag in the trunk. Anthony throws a duffel bag in the trunk. Anthony taps right front pocket and left to be sure he has his keys. Anthony reads 1:25. Time floats on the screen. It's clicking down. Interior Anthony's bedroom. Day. Quickly hobbles back to the room to search through Anthony. Slowly squats down, look under a pile of clothes. Look up. Precious time away as phones. Instead of trying to force himself up, he sits down and answers the call.
Hello.
I'm about 3 minutes out.
You sound more relaxed.
You hit home when you asked me if you've ever let me down. That lifted a huge weight off my chest.
Yeah. I lost a few minutes of my original calculation, but I will be there with bells on.
Reginald rolls over to push himself back to his.
And where the hell did you get your driver's license?
Focus on driving. Love you, son.
Love you too, Dad.
Right as Reginald.
Interior, living room, day. Reginald gingerly walks from Anthony's room and removes the couch cushions. Losing time, Reginald begins to talk to himself as he retraces Anthony's steps.
When he walked in, he went straight to the couch and said, "Let me ask you something."
Reginald doesn't find the necklace in the couch, so he moves right to the end table where a photo of his late wife sits. He reminisces for a moment, kisses the picture frame, and continues his search.
He followed me to the kitchen as I explained to him that money doesn't grow on trees.
From Reginald's point of view, we see him scouring the kitchen. He looks on the floor. He looks in the sink. He even pulls out a cereal box to see if the necklace fell into it while Anthony was fixing himself a bowl of cereal. But there was no prize in the cereal box.
It's not here.
Reginald looks at his watch. Interior, wedding venue, day. Anthony looks at his watch and tries to call his dad, but it goes to voicemail. Anthony's best man enters the room.
Almost showtime.
Anthony has a worried look on his face. He is silent for a moment before taking a deep breath.
You good? Need me to get you anything?
Anthony takes another deep breath.
I'm good.
Man, you in it now. Too late to be getting cold feet.
Anthony starts to pace around the room. He's gripped by anxiety as the seconds tick down. Panic sets in as he realizes his mom can't be there, and he doesn't have the necklace. And now, Dad may not make it. Interior, Anthony's living room, day. Reginald is sitting on the edge of the sofa in deep thought. A quick flashback reveals Reginald and Anthony hugging each other. Reginald springs up from the couch and bolts to the closet. He rummages around in a dark blue sports coat and finds Anthony's necklace. He looks at the clasp and it is broken. Reginald runs out of the house as fast as his old legs will carry him. There is less than 3 minutes left on the countdown clock. Interior, Reginald's car, day. Reginald is on the phone with Anthony. Anthony's breathing is erratic until he hears the good news.
I got it, and I'm on my way.
Drive safe, Pops.
Reginald cranks the car up, puts the car in drive, hits the gas, and we hear a loud pop. We see Reginald use his left foot to put on the brakes and put the car in park. Grimacing in pain, Reginald calmly addresses Anthony.
Son,
What's that noise?
there's no time, just listen. Remember your senior year? You hit that home run to win the championship?
How could I ever forget? The sun was so bright that I was squinting. I could see JR step up in the infield. The crowd was silent, and everything was in slow motion. It was like all of the time you told me to plan, prepare, and visualize my hard work paying off. Before I even heard the crack of my bat, I knew I was a champion. But even if I had struck out, I knew you would have still been proud of me.
I'm glad you remembered the day so fondly, because I'm going to need you to step up to the plate and knock it out of the park again.
No, Pops.
Leave your phone
I
on.
need you.
Leave your phone on, and it will be like I'm listening to the radio.
I can't.
Listen. You're going to step up to the plate with confidence, knock out your vows, and cross home plate with your beautiful bride. Your mother and I will be there in spirit.
Anthony drops the phone, bends over, and clasps his hands to his knees. The phone isn't on speaker, but we can still hear Reginald.
Here comes the bride, all dressed in white, sweetly serene in the soft glowing light.
Anthony picks up the phone and hums along with his dad.
Lovely to see, marching to thee, sweet love united for eternity.
Interior, Reginald's car, day. Reginald has reclined his seat. Still in excruciating pain, he smiles ear to ear as he listens to Anthony flawlessly recite his vows.
All my life, I prayed for someone like you. Now, don't you all start singing that song. But it's true. I asked God to send me an intelligent, strong, and beautiful angel just like you. I've never told anyone this, but when I was little, I thought my mom was an angel. I was amazed at the love she had for our family, and I knew my father was a blessed man. The moment I laid eyes on you, I knew you were my angel. Now that we stand here before our family and friends, I promise to love, honor, cherish, and protect you always, through good and bad. I will encourage you and motivate you to attain your wildest dreams. I am built to lead our family because of my father. The best example of a man and husband that I've ever seen.
Exterior, park, day. Anthony and a young man are sitting in a park having a conversation. The young man is Anthony Jr.
So you want me to believe Grandpa talked the paramedics into stopping by the church?
Anthony takes out his phone, scrolls through a couple photos, and shows Anthony Jr. a photo of his grandpa in an ambulance right after the wedding.
Believe me now?
Whoa, that's crazy.
That's a father's love. We will move heaven and earth to make sure that you have what you need. Our greatest fear is not being able to be there when you need us. But your grandpa taught me that he would always be here and here. You may not
Anthony
understand
points.
everything I'm trying to teach you right now, but at the right time, it will all make sense.
Is that why we come here every Father's Day and you tell all these great stories?
Yes, it is. But I also want you to remember that time is not promised. Make the most of every single day because you never know when your time is up. I regret not telling Pops how much I appreciated him.
You know what, Dad? You'd be a great preacher.
Anthony chuckles and playfully shoulder checks Anthony Jr. The camera starts to pull back, and we see that Anthony and Anthony Jr. are actually in a cemetery in front of Reginald's headstone. Anthony Jr. has on a baseball uniform. Anthony hugs Anthony Jr., and they walk off as the camera raises overhead.
I want to hit a homer for Grandpa today. I get so nervous when I'm up to bat.
Anytime you get nervous, let me tell you what you got to do.
I know, Dad. Just hum. It calms the vagus nerve responsible for rest, relaxation, and heart rate.
Anthony Jr. hums, "Take Me Out to the Ball Game," as the screen fades to black.
Excellent. Let's have everybody return. That was fantastic. Yay. Woohoo!
We did it.
My heart is full. Thank you for the excellent job. The actors and the writing was wonderful. So, William, tell us a little bit about this piece. Like, what made you? What are their origins? Is it based on a true story?
Well, Anthony had brought me the story. He just wanted to tell a story about fathers and their motivation, because a lot of times fathers are misunderstood and, often, sometimes neglected and taken for granted. And, he just wanted to show what a father's motivation is. It's just to take care of their family and take care of their children and leave them all the information that they need to navigate life, when they're gone. And they don't make a fuss about it. They don't, need applause. They don't need gifts. They don't need anything. They just go and do it. And, in Reginald, it shows, he tried to shelter his son from, his mother being sick and, shoulder the burden himself, even though it caused tension between the two of them. But it came from Anthony. He had the idea. And, I, did my best to, I'm a father. My son is 29. He'll be 30. My daughter is 23. But I grew up without a father. Father was never in my life, never had a dad or anything. So I wanted to make sure that I gave them everything that I never had, from a dad, from time to, didn't matter. I worked overnight shift and I would still, first thing in the morning, don't even go to sleep. I wake them up and we go out all day on the weekend. And, they never knew that I was tired. because I wanted them to experience fun and, not have to worry about me.
We hear the love in your voice. I mean, it's beautiful. And
Hello,
well,
hello.
this
Can you hear me?
day after Father's Day. Who's
This
speaking?
is Anthony
Oh,
Davis.
Anthony, you're
Hey,
here.
hey.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
yes, yes, yes.
Yes.
First, I want to thank everybody for the reading. Did an outstanding job, and yeah, I brought the idea to William. I just wanted to spotlight good dads. We often don't get the spotlight when it comes to fatherhood versus, majority of the time the spotlight is on the mother, and good fathers do not get any recognition. I saw probably about 3 years ago, I was listening to an interview with a well-known NBA player. His parents were together at the time, and the question to him was, "What did you do when you first made your first million?" And his reply was, "I bought my mother a home." You bought your parents a home, not your mother. That was going through my head. Um, Also, I've seen on award shows, an artist wins an award, they give thanks to God, they give thanks to their mother. They don't give thanks to their dad. And these artists have, they come from a two-family household. So I brought that idea to William, and I was like, we got to spotlight good fathers because we don't get any recognition. And William took my idea, he ran with it, and he created Before I Go.
And it's, my heart. It's so perfect after Father's Day too. So
Yes.
how does that work with the collaboration? Like, what made you say, I'm going to bring it to William to write it instead of writing it yourself? And when you did bring it to William, how did the collaboration work? Was it like, no, write this, or yes, write this way? How did
All
that work?
right. So I've been in the industry, in entertainment industry since the mid 90s, started off in records up in New York. After college, I worked at Def Jam, MCA Records. Then I transitioned as a producer in commercial broadcasting. Then for the last 15 years, I was an accountant in films. I budgeted films for feature films and TV shows. So I'm not a creative. I always have ideas. I'm more, obviously on the business side. I've known William for a couple of years. William is the creative. He's a writer. So I just produced a film called Yogurt Raisin. We shot that 3 years ago. Um, I have 5 childhood friends who are Caucasian. I'm the only African American friend out the group. Every year we do a guys trip somewhere. And my 5 childhood friends who are white, they embrace the African American community. They love hip hop from the 80s. They love Black women. And in my mind, I was like, I wonder what would happen if they were ever put in a situation that sometimes us Black people are put in, a bad situation. Would they still embrace the African American culture? So I shared that idea with William, and he wrote the script called Yogurt Raisin. We shot the film. I think it was like 28,000 to produce it. We won a lot of awards. And then fast forward, I had the idea with Before I Go. So I've known William for a while. He's my go-to to write scripts. And currently, we are in development with Anthony Hemingway on a documentary called Sugar Daddy. That's about health disorders in the African American community due to overconsumption of sugar. And William is a consulting producer on that documentary.
Wow. So, in hearing this, and this is for both William and Anthony, when you hear the actors read it, were there any things that were a surprise, or oh, I never thought of it that way, or nailed it, or just anything that was like a little different, or oh, you know what, I'm gonna tweak that part? Anything that you heard that made you see things a little differently?
Well, actually, I felt like they nailed it. The actors did a great job. It is, definitely what I envisioned. I've
Oh,
had a couple
good.
readings of my own, with actors that I know here in Orlando, but they were the best thus far. And as far as if there was anything that I would tweak a little, I know Anthony, when he first brought it to me, he said he wanted it to be like the Publix commercials. He wanted to be heartfelt. He wanted to, be a tearjerker. And I kind of felt bad that, I've had other people that read it, they said that, tears came to their eyes. But
Hmm.
as I was reading it, I mean, as I was listening to the reading, tears came to my eyes. And, I finally, I feel like delivered, what Anthony had wanted originally.
Well, that's wonderful. And what's the next steps for this piece? Do you plan, is there a schedule? You plan on filming it? Do you plan on making it into a feature film series?
We are definitely, it'll be a short film. Right now, we are focused on the health documentary with Anthony Hemingway. So that's our focus right now. Um, and then we will then jump to producing this short film.
And not to toot someone else's horn, but you probably should talk with Keith because he does a lot of stuff in the health industry. He and his wife, they run the Triggered project, so maybe offline or something like that.
Okay.
It just so happens that since you said that's where he does a lot of things. Anybody else? Any of the actors have anything? Any comments or your character? Whatever.
Yeah, I mean, my dad was in and out of my life. 1 year he'd be there, 6 months he'd be gone, 2 years he'd be gone, 6 months he'd be. So it kind of hit me in that sense because it was complicated. He was a good man and good father most of the time,
Hmm.
but some of the time not. And just, look, what you wrote, what you guys wrote, it's a bit complicated, and so congratulations to both of you, Anthony and William.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Comments?
Yeah, just want to echo what Lonnie said and said thank you guys for creating the story. It's not often you see uh, stories about Black men like this with the love and the complexities and the messiness between a father and son and the history in the family. And my day job is actually I work for the mayor's office of Black male advancement.
Mhm.
Our entire mission is to make sure the city of Boston is a more equitable, prosperous place for Black men and boys. And we've had some lived experiences that kind of um, are kind of backed by data that shows that the city hasn't always, been the best place for Black men and boys to succeed, and we're trying to change that. And one of the things we're trying to do is uplift fathers. We just had an event for fathers to celebrate Black fathers in Roxbury last week on Wednesday. And so this story came at like a real opportune time. And I was glad I was able to be a part of it. So thank you to Andrea for casting me as well. And thank
There you
y'all.
go. I'm so glad you
Thank
nailed it. I loved what
Yes.
you did.
Yes.
And,
And I
and
will.
the commitment to the baseball uniform. Yay.
Yeah, I try to do is what I can to get into character. So
I would like everyone, if you please, can you email me, if you have an IMDb link, email that to me along with your actors reel so I can, just have in a folder. Definitely. I think my email address, well,
Well,
it's on
I
those
will be
emails.
emailing everyone after this. I generally
Okay,
do so it'll be on that, but I'll
sure.
also just put it out separately so that they can say, oh, this one is Anthony's.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I just want to say I think that a story like this is extremely important to tell. We need stories like this, especially nowadays. So I would love to see what a short film like this looks like. So good job on the writing, guys.
Thank you very
Thank you, sir.
I'd like a series.
Well, I
Because
mean,
every week you could have some other, I'd like to see more of this whole family.
yeah, well, the dynamic with Anthony bringing me stuff, I like to write all the time, so whenever he brings me something, I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll try that, and, we'll go back and forth, we'll get readings, we'll get different opinions from people and continue on with the process. But this, once we did, well, before we even do the short, I've been working on, fleshing it out to a full feature. So, because there's a lot more to the story and a lot more to tell. We wanted
You
to
can
keep it.
tell just the hearing it. It's like, oh, want more of this, want more of that. And how did you two meet?
How did we meet? Did we meet through Robin? You're
Yeah,
Robin?
yeah. I believe we met at Broslands Film Festival. What year was that?
Ugh, man, it's over 10 years, definitely. 2013?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I had wrote and produced a health documentary on on COVID. We followed it was 2020 Year to Nurse. It actually won Bronzeland that year. But Anthony,
We've
you know,
known each other before
you
that
know.
documentary.
Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, I don't remember. I guess it has
Yeah,
been too long.
it's been a while. It's like 2013, 2014. We got introduced from a mutual friend, and we used to see each other at film festivals, and we'll converse, and yeah, and William, like I was like, William's he seems like a cool guy. He's humble. I like just chopping it up with humble people. Yeah, and we just became friends.
Oh no, I remember now. It was my a feature film that I executive produced. The Turnaround. It was in
Ah,
it was in Bronze Lens.
okay, okay,
And
okay.
yeah, came and Robin was an executive producer on that as well. And that's the year we met because you took her to the star set and all of that stuff and everything.
Right, right, right. Yes, yeah. Okay, so then that was 2015. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was about 2015. Yep.
So when you work on these projects together, how do you generally cast things? Do you cast people that I've known this person forever, or do you cast a wide net, or do you hire somebody to do the casting? How does that usually work for you guys?
When we casted for Yogurt Raisin, we hired two casting directors. They had casted for gosh, what was that short film that won the Oscar with Joey Badass, William? I can't think of the name of the anyway, they is two women out of LA. They casted for Yogurt Raisin, and we gave them who are our wish list of cast of actors that we would like for the role. But then they put out a breakdown on Actors Access. Um, I had one of my best friends is Q Parker from the group 112. I already had one of the roles in mind for him. So I told him about it. His manager and him read the script. They was on board. So that was the only person that pretty much was offer only. But everybody else, went through the audition process for Yoga Raisin. And for once we start production on Before I Go, it'll probably be the same. We'll hire a casting director and send out a breakdown through Actors Access.
Mm-hmm. So you've had experience with ROXFILM previously, right? With Yogurt Raisin?
With whose film?
Yogurt Raisin, wasn't that at ROXFILM Festival?
Oh, it sure was.
Yeah.
It sure
So.
was. Yes, 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 yes. But we didn't attend. Oh, yeah, we didn't attend. But yeah, y'all screened us.
Mm-hmm.
Forgot about that. Thank you for doing that. Thank you, thank you, thank
Sure,
you.
we love
Yeah,
welcoming
yes.
wonderful films. Yay. So hopefully we'll be screening this one. and
Yes.
your documentaries.
Yes, we will definitely submit to you all.
Mm-hmm. Let's see, do we have any questions from the audience? I think Lisa has to handle that because I can't see. Any questions? Let's see. From the audience?
I don't see any.
Okay. All right. Well, any other, anything anyone else wants to add to the conversation? Okay. Well, I want to thank you both, William and Anthony, and I also want to thank Brandon and Ricardo and Lonnie and Keith. Wow, this was just such a. I mean, it just warmed my heart watching this, and I definitely want to see more. And yeah, this is why we like to have the daily reads. The daily reads started out of, I know, no surprise, COVID, when we couldn't have the festival in person. So we were having it online, and then came up with this idea because people were doing readings, and then we've kept it up. And it's wonderful because sometimes it's hard to get actors together. So this way people can do it, for that hour, and then it's recorded. So if somebody misses it, it's okay, because you can go to the ROXFILM Festival website or their YouTube page like in a couple of weeks, and this will be up there.